Hello, South Africa. My name is Pastor Theletsane from New Creation Podcast. I'm with a beautiful lady, Sis Basetsana Maiketswane. Welcome on our New Creation Podcast. She's also a member. She's a family here. She's a leader here. Sis, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my pastor. It's good to be here and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Wow, I just want to make you feel comfortable a little bit and relax. Want you to relax. What do you like? Going out or staying indoors?
Okay, definitely indoors. I'm an indoors girl. Put me in my home, give me TV, give me food, my couch. I'm at my best, most comfortable. I also love hosting.
I can attest to that. I've seen that several times.
I love having family, friends around. I'll definitely pick home, as opposed to going out.
Flowers or chocolates?
What do you mean? Oh, no, it has to be both, flowers and chocolates.
You're too expensive, my girl.
Never.
Too expensive. Oh my God. One has to buy flowers and chocolates at the same time.
Yep. Eat the chocolates and then watch your flowers. And that's my kind of thing.
Okay. We're going somewhere with a conversation.
Yeah.
And hence I picked the flowers. Yeah. We have a Become conference.
Yay.
From Seed to Bloom.
Yeah.
That is happening on the 5th of September. And as a church, we felt that you are a crucial part of this conversation. From the inception, you were part, of the planning process. What does it mean to become?
Wow, what really does it mean to become? You're taking me back to our initial conversations when we discussed, what is the platform that we actually want to create for women as New Creation. And we were all aligned to say that we want women to come here, feel transformed, feel like they can belong, feel like they can leave the conference, feeling like they can take on the world, and whatever that God has placed in them, they can do. I also love, one of our initial scriptures, or maybe the second one that speaks to she shall be called woman. And it is found in Genesis 2, verse 23. And for me, that scripture says that God called us before we were even placed on earth, before we even knew who we were, before we were women, before we were mothers, before we were wives. God named us and he called everything that we are going through today.
So you were destined for a purpose.
Absolutely.
You were called for a purpose.
Absolutely.
And it takes me back to a scripture that says, before you were formed, I knew you. So he knew who you're going to be.
Every strand of your hair.
He knew every part of your, your being.
Yeah.
And he designed you for something.
Yeah.
And there's something inside of you. Inside
absolutely.
so strong that you need to unleash it.
Yeah.
So what does it talk to Seed to Bloom theme?
I believe that, the Seed to Bloom is about us women coming together, being in different phases or stages of life. If you look at the life of a flower or a rose, which is my favorite,
You love flowers.
I do. It goes to a point where we start with the seed, so small, and that seed is buried with the idea that, there will come out a flower or a rose eventually. And some of us will come into this conference, this conversation, feeling like we are buried. And, we had a conversation and you want us to look at the bearing part as something that is not scary. And it's really a moment for a person where they go through conversations with God, because the world around you doesn't know what you're going through. But it's such a sacred thing. And being buried is not necessarily a bad thing, because it's your moment for God to define who you are and learning about yourself, so that when you start blooming, you know who you are best before we actually see this beautiful thing coming up. And for me, I always say I'm in the budding phase, I'm like this. And all I need is just a little rain, someone to pour into me, just a little, enough for me to bloom.
So, you're saying that we are in different seasons as women, and we understand that women will come from different seasons, and they need different nurturing, and they need different watering. Others just need a little bit of water and a little bit of sun because they're already ready to bloom.
Yes.
And others, they require a lot of watering because they're still in the ground. They're still a seed, that still needs to develop. And development, talks to character. Development talks to growth. Development talks to finding yourself, finding your values, finding a purpose. And one thing that I believe is that she's clothed with strength and dignity.
Absolutely.
So we have the strength.
Yeah.
We have been powered, to take on the world.
Yeah.
And whatever that you are going through, whether you're still in a development stage and whether you're still in the budding stage where you are about to bloom, you have the strength and the capabilities to do so.
Absolutely.
You might just need that one touch.
One touch. Gentle. Yeah.
Just that one friend.
Yeah.
That might be here at the conference on the day. You might just need that one song. You might just need that word from Rorisang or from Pastor Fano.
Absolutely.
You might just need to connect with a friend, a partnership. And as we said, we are a place of becoming.
Yeah.
We become as an overall. We become in our careers. We become in our hold. We become in our families.
Yeah.
We become, as a ministry. So as an MC, on the day, what should we look forward to?
I believe that we should look forward to, great conversation, the move of God. Definitely. I think God has something for all of us. And if you ever forgot why you were placed on this earth, I think that the conference on the 5th of September will be a gentle reminder of why you are here and why you exist. I also believe that, we must come with open hearts, willing to receive, but at the same time, willing to impart what we have to others. This is not just about us receiving and receiving. I think we all have an opportunity to give back in some way. And there's somebody out there who is in a phase of budding, and you have bloomed yourself. And you have an opportunity to just be that little gentle sunshine or sunlight that person needs for them to become who God has destined for them to be. And, the become theme is really not about a destination. As you say, we're growing, we're continually growing. And, we don't look at this as after the conference, we will be. No. After the conference, we continue to work on ourselves. We continue to discover who God has placed us to be. But after the conference, I think we will be in a much better position in terms of knowing who we are and really where we want to go.
Just having a conversation with someone who has been through something, gives hope, gives courage, and that you can do it. Sunday, the pastor was preaching, about Elizabeth, and he spoke about a touch, having an encounter with someone that has already realized something, whether it's realizing their dreams, but they've been through the same pain, but now they're about to give birth, and they can take you through the process that they've been, and that's what we need as well as women. Sometimes you don't need to be given solution. You need someone to say, this is how I did it.
Yes.
This is how I went about it. This is how I managed this situation. And then that's why today I am where I am.
Yeah.
And in every person, there's been a season.
Yeah.
And we understand that we will be in different season.
Yeah.
But we learn from each season.
Yes.
And each season is required because summer is needed, winter is needed, autumn is needed.
Absolutely.
Every season of our lives is needed to
yeah.
prepare us for a greater glory or greater purpose, or for our destiny.
Absolutely.
There is something that you would not be able to carry or handle if you didn't go through a certain season.
Yeah.
So if someone is in a season, and they hear about us saying we are blooming on the 5th, and their season doesn't look like blooming, what can you say to them?
Man, I think you are in the right space. And for us, the conference is not about having perfect people.
Wow.
It's about different people, all stages of life coming together. And I think we will have bloomers, obviously, who are, just beaming with joy and happiness and everything is going well in their lives. And we'll have those that are really not sure what is happening. And that's why it's so important to say you may be in your bearing season or the planting season. Listen, woman, you are about to discover who God has destined you to be. And if you haven't bought your ticket, this is an opportunity for you to buy the ticket, so that you can be part of this conversation. I think there will be just a lot for us to take, a lot for us to really think about and ponder upon as women. And one of the chapters or the scriptures you spoke about is where God says the woman is clothed with strength and dignity. And for me, it's important because as women, we think that, we must always show this very strong, I got it.
Kimbokodo.
Yes, Kimbokodo. Kimbokodo for who?
For who?
Yes.
For who? And if you can't take it anymore, you can't take it anymore. If you don't have it figured out, you don't have it figured out.
And it's okay to not be okay.
Yes, it's okay not to be perfect.
Yeah.
We don't want perfect people.
Absolutely.
We want people that are trying.
Yeah.
And every day you are trying to be the best version of yourself.
Absolutely. Even in the workplace, I really believe that there's a place for the heart. I love leaders that lead with the heart. And I've seen that here at New Creation, that, you guys as leaders, you allow us the space to grow. And it can only because you love, the people that come here, your children, as you refer to us, so much that, we are allowed to grow. We are allowed to transform. And you're living to that purpose that says this is a place of becoming. You're not going to come here every Sunday and you live the same. Find ways where you can grow, find ways where you can, impart your knowledge to yourself through different things. So I love it. I love the fact that the growth of the congregation is a non-negotiable from your side. Sometimes it's hard because you guys are so strict.
We can be pushy. And we're creating an environment where we have fun.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we are growing.
Absolutely.
And the growth is not only the growth of church. Yeah. But we believe that the growth is also personal.
Yeah.
We cannot have you and you're not grown and there's no change in your life. You can be an investment to our church only if you're doing well in your personal space.
Absolutely.
So we want to invest in people's personal space. And not by giving them money, not by promising them that they're going to achieve 1, 2, 3, 4 at church. We believe that God, is the one who is able to do all things. Yeah. And we trust God. But we know that there's mentoring required. Yeah. We know that there's opportunities. We're running a production at church. We need to mentor people to run their production. Yeah. If there's media team, we need to groom people, to work in that space.
Absolutely.
And in us doing that and doing mentoring for these people, we believe that they will go and excel outside of, our church ministry. Absolutely. So how has that journey been for you as a marketing executive? And then you have to, I know sometimes we can be pushy, but now you have to come here and be part of that world outside of or within the ministry.
Yeah. I love the fact that as a church, we really practice what we preach. And you as leaders, Pastor T and yourselves, really, when you say, we want you guys to become and excel, you really mean it. So coming here, I only managed, obviously, one department at work, which is the marketing team and a marketing function. But I was given the responsibility to manage all departments, and I'm called my leader of everything, And I look at after operations here at church. I look after the, worship team. Yes, there are heads, obviously within each ministry, but I have to make sure that, things run. And that was a very unique space for me. And I really believe that because of the opportunity that the church has given me, I can take on any position really, because I have explored and I've been exposed to different, aspects within a church setting. But I also love the fact that we run the church in a way that, it's about excellence.
It's professional.
And it's professional. And so I feel that, the church empowers us as congregation, as people who want to be, empowered to really learn and grow. And one of the most important things for me, and it's a favorite thing because it's Women's Month, right? It's the fact that if you look at our media team, we've got young women and girls being part of that. And my hope, and I know that it's also your dream, is that one day we're going to have a whole band that is made up of women. So I love that. I love that we push the boundaries a little bit, but obviously within the confines of the confinements of the church, and we do things with grace and also understanding that it can only be God who has placed us here. And these opportunities are coming because we serve Him.
Definitely. And just you've alluded or just took words out of my mouth, about serving God, and taking, the ministry serious. That's one thing that we do. We believe that we are a ministry ourselves.
Yeah.
And even when we are out of the walls of the ministry, we still represent God Himself. Yeah. So hence we really focus on the three pillars, which is the word, which is the worship and the prayer. And we make sure that we live to that and transform people and develop people and make sure that they become. We said this is a place of becoming.
Yes.
And we cannot just say it's a place of becoming and people don't realize that, so it's also good and heartwarming.
Yeah.
Just to hear it, from one who's our member, to say, you know what, this is the journey, and I'm becoming. And you might not become financially, you might not become that, I've got a house now since I started in the church, or there's a miracle that has been performed, but there's a skill that you've developed. You have the strength to take on. Challenges will be there.
Yes.
Even when you're blooming, you still have challenges, but you know how.
Yes.
You know that you go on your knees and you speak to God and you speak to that situation and you command and you say, God, you've given me the power to speak to every situation. The situation had no choice but to listen to me.
Absolutely.
So we thank God for that.
Yeah.
On the 5th of September,
Yes.
what are the people that are coming? The people that are coming.
Yeah.
Who are we expecting?
We are going to be graced by Sis Matima, Sis Puleng, Sis Katlego, and our very best Minister of the Word, Pastor P, and Rorisang, of course, and many others. And we have our own new sound worship. They will be there as well. I mean, I believe that through New Sound Worship, really, God has given us a new sound for a new season.
Amen.
Amen. And I'm so excited. And every day, I mean, you spoke about the fact that we have three pillars, which is the word, the worship, and
the prayer.
And the prayer. And in this season of my life, when I, come to church, I look forward to New Sound. I mean, they are just amazing. And I believe that really God has given us a new sound for any season that we're going through. But yeah, the worship team of New Creation is something really, to marvel at. And of course, I mean, Pastor T, in terms of breaking down the word, we can never go wrong. And you mentioned the story of Mary and Elizabeth, and when he preached it on Sunday, I was like, man, there is a vision inside me that I didn't know existed until Sunday, and Pastor T preached about that. So even with the conference, I really believe that people will come here and they didn't know that there was something inside of them. Or, sometimes where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what it is, but it's there and it's about to explode. I don't know what it is. So if you are in the phase where you say, I don't know what it is, Just
come explore.
come
And find out.
Yeah,
Come in and find out.
absolutely.
We are planning to unleash it.
Yeah,
We are planning to push it.
absolutely.
A little bit of push.
Yeah.
A little bit of push. And so that we can all become, you know. The most important thing is serving, living in your purpose, in that area of purpose, you know. There's nothing beautiful as that.
Yeah.
And purpose, it's something that has got significance in people's life. I always say, I wouldn't say I've made it unless I've touched people's life or I've had an impact in people's life. And that impact changes their life, changes how they think, changes how they carry themselves, changes how they look at themselves. And you just mentioned like the greatness in me. You know, when you start finding out and going to research about your own self. Say, what is it that you've created me for?
Absolutely.
You know, you introspect, you have a conversation with God and say, God, why am I here? Why did you bring me on earth? And there's a particular reason that you brought me on earth. And I need to figure it out. And I trust and pray that God lead me. Because you said the steps of a righteous man are ordered by him. May you order me in figuring it out.
Yes,
you know?
absolutely. Yeah. And I think, you know, purpose is such a personal thing, right? We cannot tell you now that you have come to new creation now, suddenly you have purpose. And that is why I love the fact that within our ministry, there is, you know, areas that we can all plug in. There's the women on assignment where it's really, and they are the cornerstone and the planners of this conference, and you know, Mama Shati and Mama Lome. But you know, when we talk about purpose for me, I'm drawn to our Beyond the Walls initiative, and it's about the outreach and what we do for our communities. One of the passion points that you and Pastor Tia know are very, you know, resolute about is the fact that as a church, we need to go out there and make a difference within our communities. And, you know, we do outreaches. We go to our neighboring communities where there's a need. And we don't get there just because we want to be seen. It starts first with, as individuals, what do you want to see? You know, the change that you want to see as a person. And that's why we always encourage members of the church to be part of, you know, the outreaches, because it starts first with you. And then we go out as a church, and together we then make a difference. And through the initiatives, we've seen people come here and they're like, because of that outreach, I'm here. And we've got many, many more that we know God will touch through the ministry. And obviously, as a marketer, you know, I'm always, you know, together with you, we always look at what are opportunities out there where we can be part of, you know, the communities and make a difference. And it's just been exciting.
Yeah. We love to serve and to serve our country.
Absolutely.
And to serve our community, the ministry and people at large. And I think we draw strength in seeing, you know, people becoming, for one, it warms my heart when I see changes in people's life, you know, whether it's change is spiritual or it's change in physical, whether it's change in their homes, you know, whether it's change in their children's life, whether it's change on how they just engaged, but just seeing a change, you know, warms our hearts, you know, together with Pastor as leader of the church. And indeed, you know, the Beyond the Walls ministry, it's just something else. It's something else. It's one of the foundation and something that we keep on, you know, investing, and just to make sure that people are fed out there, they are clothed, and they are supported the best way we can. We also do hikings. You know, there's times where you need to go out and relax
and spend time with nature.
And spend time with nature and praying.
Yes.
You know, during that time, we are also praying. So yes, you're right. There's a lot of things that are still going to unfold. We are working behind the scene. We are praying. We are trusting God that He called us for this time, and we are needed for this time. We're just not a ministry, But we believe that when God said it's your time, it's because there was a gap and there was something that we need to come and solution that we need to come and provide.
Absolutely. And I mean, for a church this young, I mean, we started in February, the actual gathering as a church. I mean, but we had been praying together before then with you and Pastor and the congregation from Rustenburg and your family and our families and all of us, our families. And what we've done through the grace of God, I believe it's something that is really amazing. And, people would be calling and sending you messages and saying, well done, Pastor, for what you guys are doing. And not because aesthetically it looks good, but of the impact, And you always say, Basi, I want to see the impact. It's not about the show. It's not about, our social media looking good. Yes, because as a marketer, I want things to look good. But what is it that we are trying to communicate as a church? And what is the impact at the end of it? And for me, even just going back to the conference, it's as a woman attending this conference, how do I live, on the 5th of September? I came in through those 4 phases of the rose or a plant, and maybe I'll leave here blooming, or maybe then through that bearing season, I realized that God has been speaking to me. It wasn't.
And I needed that quiet moment.
Absolutely,
I needed that quiet moment so that I can not be disturbed, and I can hear him clearly. There's times where we need to go on isolation,
absolutely,
and have a private conversation with him without disturbances, and we can hear him clearly. Wow.
And we can hear him clearly, and sometimes he's not loud, right?
No.
It will just be. There's a friend of ours who said, God sometimes will speak to you by just, you feel like something is touching your hair. It's just like, as gentle as that. But allow ourselves to hear him. And when we're going through that bearing process, I think there's no perfect time. One of your sons, once preached that there's no place like rock bottom.
Rock bottom, true.
Because that's where you get to encounter God. So when you feel like you're buried, I think we should always just look at God. What are you saying to me? What are you trying to say to me? What is the preparation that I'm actually going through, and not give up? I mean, some of us have gone through quite, a lot of challenges in the season. But my goodness, you like nobody would say you're going through this, but it's just allowing yourself to go through the process and really trust that God is speaking, even when
He's
you don't.
in it.
Yes, he is in it. He's called it. He's named it. He said, "I knew you while you were in your mother's womb." So nothing that is happening in our lives surprises him, right?
Wow. No. You take me to a scripture, and I don't want to go there because now I'll start preaching. When he was talking about Pharaoh, and he said he hardened his heart. It was part of his plan. There's something that he wanted to achieve by being hardened. So even in our season, even in our processes, he does it because there's a greater purpose that he's trying to achieve. And for his testimony as well, we can stand today and say, if it was not for him,
God.
and we know it's not us, but it's God. If it was not for him, I wouldn't be sitting here.
And
both
things,
of us, all things work together for good.
Yeah, for them that love the Lord.
And those that are called.
And you need
to be called.
You need to be called, and you need to love him. And I feel like we have, because of those two things, we have a license to say to God, "Hi, boy, you said if I love you and I'm called, all things will be added. So you have called me. I love you. Then
have you responded to the call? You might be called, and you haven't responded to the call.
Yes, absolutely.
So we need to respond to the call. We need to respond to the call, and I think you will respond to the call in that private moment that you've just alluded. That's where you're in a quiet place and you're able to respond to the call.
Oh man,
it's gonna be amazing.
Let's
not go deep. Let's not go deep.
Yeah.
You'll hear more on the 5th of September.
Yeah.
It's from seed to bloom. Come looking floral.
Come looking floral,
A
come
suit,
looking colorful.
colorful,
Listen, I'll do a
dress,
dress. I think
suit,
flowers, a bit of
flowers.
pink, a bit of purple, something very girly. Yeah, so I will be, I don't want to give it away because then there's too much pressure. But yeah, I also say, come as you are, as comfortable as you are. That's very important. There is just something about when women get together that God has no choice but to
move.
respond and move.
To move.
And we are provoking heaven on the 5th of September because we will be together as women. We will be praying. We'll be lifting his name. And we will just say, God, we are here. Use us. Speak to us. And we have such an amazing, lineup of speakers and even women in the audience. One of the things we were debating was, how do we make sure that everybody's involved in the program? And those are things that, the team is planning. So come ready, come prepared. You'll never know. The mic might end up with you.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
The mic might end up with you.
Absolutely.
We learn every day. We learn every day. And we hope to also learn from you,
We really hope to.
and we cannot wait to host you. We will see you on the 5th of September. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Creation Center SA and hope to see you soon.
This is Become.
Become.